Overview. Katy Milkman's How to Change 2021 provides a roadmap for overcoming the greatest challenge that most people face, which is becoming the person they believe they should be. Milkman urges readers to improve their lives by building better habits and using evidence-based strategies to make better decisions. She suggests ways to develop new and healthier life choices and offers insights to help readers reach their goals. In an unpredictable world, personal change can be difficult to achieve, but by using the latest science, people can make it happen and stick for the long term. Lasting change can be within everyone's grasp, and a healthy lifestyle can be achieved through bite-sized commitments and personal yet doable strategies. Insights from Chapter 1. 1. The stubborn persistence of unhealthy or unproductive behavior is common today. This includes habits such as smoking, lack of physical activity, and terrible diets. Simply telling people that change is easy, cheap, and beneficial will not work. Effectively promoting behavior change requires understanding when to begin. 2. People get discouraged when adopting healthy habits requires rearranging busy lives and entrenched routines. This limits their openness to change. Even if a habit can mean the difference between life and death, people will simply ignore it. A fresh start allows us to keep old habits from working against us. 3. The problem with a fresh start is that it is rare, as all of the behaviors that we wish to change are daily, customary, and wound into our well-established routines. However, it is not hopeless, but not an easy process either. A fresh start helps people become open to change. 4. One time when people feel especially ready to change is around New Year's Eve, as they have a sense of a fresh start. The challenge here is to identify other moments that provoke a similar reaction and understand how and why they motivate us to change. 5. People are more likely to pursue change on dates that feel like new beginnings, such as the start of the week, month, or year, because these moments jumpstart goal initiation and help us overcome a common obstacle, which is the sense that failure will revisit us once again. 6. Adopting a new beginning will lead us to pause, reflect, and think about the bigger picture. 7. Meaningful life events or disruptions triggered by physical transitions can be just as powerful as a fresh start that begins on a calendar. These environmental shifts change our life circumstances in addition to our perspective, which helps us discover new paths or a better approach. 8. Not everyone benefits from a fresh start, and disruptions might lead to setbacks to well-functioning routines. Wanting to maintain a routine is different than wanting a fresh start. An effective time to encourage others to pursue positive change is after a fresh start. Insights from Chapter 2. 1. One of the biggest barriers to behavior change is that doing the right thing is often unsatisfying in the short term. Instant gratification is more tempting than long-term rewards, and impulsiveness is universal. We must find a way to make chores instantly gratifying. 2. When pursuing long-term goals, we attempt behavior change without considering the discomfort that must be endured, or how to alleviate it. Long-term benefits are typically what push us to make a change, and people tend to be overconfident about their self-discipline without considering the strong temptation to stop. 3. Despite repetitive failure, we manage to maintain blind optimism about our abilities and assume that we will do better next time, rather than learning from past mistakes, which prevents us from approaching change in a smart way. Overestimating our willpower will not help us tackle tough goals effectively. 4. Making long-term goals more enjoyable in the short term will allow us to be more successful. This is especially true in children, who will not focus on present chores if you only speak to them about long-term benefits. Adults can delay gratification better, but they're fundamentally wired the same. 5. Temptation bundling is the act of allowing ourselves to engage in a guilty pleasure, such as binge-watching our favorite series, only when pursuing a virtuous or valuable activity that we tend to dread, such as exercising. This can change behavior in a robust and long-lasting way. 6. Temptation bundling can help reduce overindulgence in temptations and increase time spent on activities that serve your long-term goals. This solves two problems at once. But not all activities can be bundled with one another, such as cognitively or physically demanding tasks. This is simply one tool to consider. 7. Gamification is another tool that can be used to make activities more engaging and less monotonous by adding game-like features such as rewards, competitiveness, and leaderboards. This can backfire if not used wisely, and possibly hinder performance in professional work settings, as games will feel imposed rather than freely chosen. 8. Making the process more exciting can lead to impressive results if people are willing to invest time in it. Pursuing ambitious goals means working against the tug of temptation, and the solution is to flip the script so that the instant gratification works for us, rather than against us. Insights from Chapter 3. 1. People will always prefer flexibility and freedom over constraints and penalties. Poor study habits are an example of this, when students choose temptations and procrastination over achieving their study goals. Time management is challenging. Binding deadlines may make it easier to work evenly, but some studies show otherwise. 2. Research has shown that if you opt into constraints, such as choosing your own deadline rather than having one forced upon you, it will be easier to resist temptations and reach your long-term goals. Reducing your own freedom is a commitment device, preventing giving in to impulses. 3. A cash commitment device can also help by making you pay money for giving in to temptation. To do this, you need to set a goal, have someone accurately track your progress, and forfeit money to a third party if the goal is not met. 4. Bigger states correlate with higher rates of success. There is power and simplicity in cash commitment devices, as they are handy and versatile compared to other impulse restrictions. The challenge is getting people to be comfortable with the idea of using them, as sometimes failure is out of your control. 5. Being at odds with yourself is what psychologists call cognitive dissonance, a powerful force where people avoid admitting that their habits are bad. However, it can also be used as a tool to change behavior for good by turning cognitive dissonance into a soft penalty that helps us achieve more. 6. Soft commitments are bite-sized and appear less daunting to us, which makes it more likely that we will stick to them. Larger and less frequent commitments are less effective, even when they produce equal results. 7. When it comes to commitment devices, there are two types of people: naïfs and sophisticates. Naïfs fail to recognize how much they can benefit from commitment devices and tend to overestimate their willpower and ability to avoid temptation. Sophisticates are better positioned to make changes in their lives. 8. Lack of self-control is a key obstacle to behavior change. It causes both impulsive decisions and procrastination. Commitment devices need to be adopted before temptation pushes you off track from pursuing your goals. Insights from Chapter 4. 1. Intentions are loosely predictive of our behaviors. Laziness and a lack of attention can cause people to flake out from responsibility, and forgetfulness is the most common explanation for failure to meet commitments. This might seem like a flimsy, made-up excuse for not getting something done. However, it is common. 2. Forgetfulness actually is a common culprit for failures, as the number of tasks and stimuli that the average person must keep track of per day is staggering nowadays. Reminder systems are the obvious preventative measure, but can have serious limitations. Reminders work better if acted upon immediately. 3. When plans are made, people do not focus on what will trigger them to act, but rather on what their intentions are. It is vital to link intention with a cue, such as a specific time or place to make healthy choices into regular actions. In short, be less vague. 4. Cues are closely linked with recall or memories through sights, sounds, smells, tastes, or even textures. Linking a plan with a cue you expect to encounter will make it far more likely for you to remember your plan. Cues retrieve important memories and prevent you from forgetting. 5. To memorize information, a method you can use is to associate each item you wish to recall with scenes or places that you know well. Connect the memory with vivid imagery to evoke the things you need to remember. such as a long grocery list. This technique boosts successful recall. 6. The more vivid, catchy, or memorable a cue is, the more likely we are to respond and carry out our plans. Prompting people to form a cue-based plan is useful when they have no plans yet, and forgetting would be costly. When things happen organically, people will be encouraged to take action. 7. Planning helps you break goals into bite-sized chunks, eliminating the need to think about actions to take in the moment or unexpectedly. It also acts as a pledge to yourself, increasing your commitment to making your goals happen. Think of the where and when of your goals. 8. Try not to overwhelm yourself with cue-based plans, as it might discourage you from your commitment. Choose what goal you want to give priority at a given time, and plan accordingly. If the plan gets too complex to remember easily, then checklists are your best friend. Insights from Chapter 5. 1. Cultures all over the world view laziness as a vice that needs to be worked on to overcome. Humans tend to take the path of least resistance by being passive and going with the flow. This has downsides and is one of the major reasons behavior change is difficult. 2. Comfort and familiar patterns of behavior push us to succumb to laziness. However, laziness can have its upsides, as it can prevent us from wasting time and energy when solving problems. Working effectively and quickly through shortcuts, rather than exploring all options, is something that humans have evolved to do. 3. Laziness can be an asset for efficiency and change facilitation. Nudging is a term used in the behavioral science community as a synonym for setting good defaults that can harness laziness for good. However, you cannot rely on defaults to ensure regular healthy habits. 4. Good behavior can be repeated enough until it becomes second nature, helping us achieve our goals. Turn habits into instincts, and whatever healthy action you need to do will become mindless. Set and forget to take advantage of our inherent laziness, because people are not wired to resist temptation. 5. The default system operates seamlessly in a predictable world, which is unfortunately not the world we live in. Habits that repeat consistent behaviors with the same context and rewards will eventually cause similar cues, even when the reward is no longer there. Consistency and stability are required for routines. 6. Stable routines are key for habit formation, but learning to roll with the punches through flexibility is crucial, as rigidity is the enemy of good habits in an unpredictable world. Flexibility in routine will allow for more robust automated actions, even in circumstances that are not ideal. 7. Versatile habits are formed when we are trained to make the best decisions despite circumstances, as good behaviors cannot be put on autopilot in one specific way. You can link a new behavior that you wish to turn into a habit with other habits that already exist in your life. 8. Habit formation can be made easier through piggybacking new habits on old ones. Linking the action you wish to do regularly with something you do habitually will make it easier to follow through in critical early phases of habit development. It also aids in tracking habits, rewards, and flexibility. Insights from Chapter 6. 1. Failure to act is not always related to a lack of knowledge. Rather, to self-doubt or lack of self-efficacy, which is a person's confidence in their ability to control their own behavior, motivation, and social circumstances. Insecurity can prevent people from setting goals. 2. When we do not believe we have the capacity for change, then our progress for it will be hindered. This can be triggered when we are given unsolicited advice, which can undermine our confidence. However, when we are asked for advice, we can think through strategies for achieving goals. 3. Giving advice can help us act, as it can feel hypocritical not to follow the advice we give others. Giving advice can be more important to your success than receiving it. It is possible to harness this power of advice giving to help yourself, promoting a new way for positive change. 4. Unsolicited advice is often perceived as criticism, and our formed expectations can shape our outcomes. How we think about something influences how it actually is, as beliefs can change emotions, and positive expectations can generate positive feelings. This can also host physiological benefits, like alleviating stress and reducing blood pressure. 5. In addition to physiological benefits, beliefs can redirect our attention and change motivation. This means that beliefs can powerfully shape our experiences. The feedback and reinforcement we get from our peers can shape our beliefs, and it is important to surround ourselves with people who encourage us. 6. Disappointment is inevitable in life and can tempt us to give up. Setting ambitious goals is fine when you allow yourself a limited number of emergency passes for unexpected events. This is a strategy that will help you stay confident and prevent you from crumbling when you face inevitable setbacks. 7. A growth mindset is one that recognizes abilities such as intelligence as flexible things that can be improved by effort. Through interpreting failures as a reflection of who you are, you accept defeat. A growth mindset helps you bounce back from setbacks and allows you to recognize effort. 8. Personal experiences that make you feel successful or proud are needed for self-affirmation. This will make you more resilient and help you prevent self-doubt. Focus on these experiences and on making them more common in your life. Insights from Chapter 7. 1. When we stand out from the crowd, it is easy to feel like a misfit. Herd behavior affects us in a way that pushes us to fit in. Other people's decisions sometimes reflect valuable information, and norms can unconsciously create pressure for conformity, so we can avoid social discomfort. 2. It is important to be in good company when we are hoping to achieve big goals. It is harmful to have peers who are not high achievers, as the people we spend time with can unconsciously shape our behavior for our whole life, be it financial or emotional decisions. 3. Our world is diverse, with different beliefs, behaviors, and knowledge that exist in objective reality. We need to take active approaches to gather information from our role models, which will increase our exposure to good habits. Typically, we are more influenced by observation than by advice. 4. Finding the people that are already achieving what you set as your own goal will give you insight on the best possible strategies that you can take for yourself. This will aid you in improving yourself faster, as we are easily influenced by other people's similar behavior. 5. Social pressure can also be used to persuade people to do immoral things, and it is important to beware of this potentially coercive power. Although, social pressure is less effective when we have the chance to reflect and consider our intended actions with fellow skeptics. 6. Behavior can be dramatically changed when social accountability is created. You can use it as a commitment device and help yourself simply by shifting social accountability. 7. Broadcasting your actions is a way to encourage better behaviors. When you announce your intentions, you are more likely to follow through with them, which will work in your favor when you are attempting to improve yourself. Channel social forces correctly and boost your chances of success. Insights from Chapter 8. 1. The work we do towards facilitating behavior change can have enduring positive benefits. However, if our efforts were to stop, we might begin to relapse. The key is to treat change as a chronic problem rather than a temporary one. The tools you use need to be permanent. 2. Maintaining change in the face of internal obstacles is easier than initiating it. You need to understand your opponent and tailor attacks on what stands in your way. This game plan will allow you to stay on course and stick to tactics that work. 3. Be ready to recalibrate when life does not go the way you planned. Rethink your strategies and alter your approach from time to time to avoid suffering from unexpected consequences. 4. Change can be within your grasp if you diagnose the internal obstacles that you face and consistently use customized solutions that will help you succeed and reach a better you. Author style. Katy Milkman collaborated with economists, psychologists, computer scientists, and doctors to learn how to change behavior. Each chapter focuses on an internal obstacle that hinders personal success, including how to recognize these obstacles and ways to overcome them. There are takeaways at the end of each chapter so that readers can review the important insights within it. Milkman's writing style is non-academic and easy to follow, using personal stories, research, and simple explanations to help readers visualize and relate to the strategies she is suggesting. Author's perspective. Katy Milkman has a PhD from Harvard University, where she studied computer science and business. She is the James G. Dinan Professor at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania and host of Charles Schwab's popular behavioral economics podcast, Choiceology. She is the co-founder of the Behavior Change for Good initiative, a research center focused on lasting behavior change. She was introduced to behavioral economics in a graduate course and was fascinated by the idea of nudging herself and others into healthier choices. We hope you enjoyed the insights on Katy Milkman's How to Change. Purchase the book to learn more.